Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today, it's a room full of faculty from the Five Seasons Chamber Music Festival, led by Rich Wagor, who is director, founding member, jack of all trades where this is concerned. Rich, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. And before we dive into this, I want to introduce the rest of our panel here. So if you would, beginning with you, Matt, just tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your instrument or area of expertise is for the fest.
Sure. My name's Matt Andreini. I'm teaching percussion here, and I'm from Cedar Falls. I teach percussion up at UNI.
Hey, my name is Phil Faconti. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I teach guitar, bass, varying things, orchestration, arranging, and I kind of fill in the gaps here.
All right.
Hey, everybody. My name is Dave Eggar. I'm a cellist and composer. I'm originally from New York, but I live in Tennessee right now. And I'm teaching cello and, a lot of other little blues and jazz and improv. It's really fun.
As you may have already surmised, when we say the Five Seasons Chamber Festival, that encompasses a lot of ground. I think when we think of chamber music, we think of string quartets or things like that. But actually, the broadest definition of chamber music is pretty much anything that's not a symphony orchestra, right?
Yeah, like this year's a good example of that because we have some newly composed music. We're doing jazz in a big band format. We have small group jazz, and this year we focused on slightly larger chamber groups than we have in the past. We've got a string orchestra that is really focusing on communication and the interactive nature of playing together, which is kind of another huge component of chamber music and is kind of the overarching, modus operandi of the whole festival.
That was good. Modus operandi.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'll tell you, it makes everybody sound smarter when you throw a little Latin. Throw a little Latin in.
Yeah.
Now, of course, at the time we're taping, it's been a busy day because it was the first day, and you just kind of finished up. So Tell me how things are going so far.
Well, things are really going pretty well. The first day always is kind of like, I've been telling people that we've been drinking out of the fire hose for a little while because everyone has a lot of questions. We're organizing things. Everything kind of happens on the fly. We're really lucky that we have a huge group of 18 interns that are helping manage the festival. They're all copied on our shared file system so that we can all answer questions about what the schedule is, etc. We have a couple of Kirkwood students, Nina Torkelson and Cameron. I'm blanking on her last name. I'm going to apologize right
Cameron.
now for that. Yes, she's a very
There we
nice
go.
young woman who has good organization skills and is a good violist. So
Nina has been around KCCK a lot during her Kirkwood years and before. Multiple guests on the show here. Mm-hmm. She was a guest DJ when she was a West Branch High School student some years ago.
That's cool.
And is going to be helping out with our jazz band camp in a few weeks.
nice.
Oh, cool.
Nice, very nice. So that all kind of gets rolling on Monday, and we managed to get through all of our rehearsals pretty well. We've got a wide variety of things happening, like you kind of hinted at. There's two main concerts this week if anyone wants to come out. We've got a Thursday night and a Friday night concert. And the Thursday night concert features string orchestra, where we'll be doing a piece by a gentleman named Joshua DeVries, who's in the area. He wrote a piece that features a lot of, it's called Real Talk, like R-E-E-L, I think, play on recording maybe. And what we do in the piece is we get all the string players together, and there's a concerto grosso kind of configuration, but it's all focused around four soloists who are playing like fiddle tunes and American melodies, right, Dave?
Yeah, no, it's based on a famous Irish folk tune and then the bluegrass tune "Cattle in the Cane," but it's done in very bizarre modal, cool, jazzy ways that is actually helping all the kids to kind of like cross the barrier between their classical training and how to embrace folk styles. So we've been working pretty hard on trying to find those spaces.
It even has some open solos so that people will be slotting into that and playing some solos with it. We're also doing a Vaughan Williams piece with that, so we've been rehearsing that. while all that's happening at various times of the day, we also have 2 fellowship jazz groups. One's a group of 8th and 9th graders from Prairie. Another one is another one of your go-to people at KCCK. Go Benish
yes.
has put together a group of college-aged or young professional-aged a quartet, I believe, to play some combo music with us. And those 2 groups are going between Julia Andrews, the pianist at Kirkwood, as one coach, and John DeVersa, who's also in town from the University of Miami. Yeah. So that happens. And then we also have some traditional woodwind groups. We have some traditional brass groups. And with all of that stuff, the crazy and the beautiful thing about what happens is in the course of the week, everyone kind of seeks each other out, and we do different conglomerations of those people interacting. This morning we had a Latin percussion demonstration by our one of our other percussionists, Don Mayall, who worked with some cellists to teach them some clave rhythms. And Matt, as well as Don, are working with a wide variety of young percussionists and teaching them trap stuff, and also working on some percussion ensemble stuff, right?
Yeah, and this morning, just kind of ad hoc, we ended up meeting with the brass ensemble and creating our own group. I brought in a piece today that's open instrumentation. It's called Amid the Noise by percussionist Jason Troiting, and I said, well, we can do this with any instruments, and it's open for. There's some room for improvisation and open instrumentation, and let's just see how this goes. And we had a great time this morning, and it's going to definitely grow over the week for this.
Dave mentioned specifically about getting players who may be coming from more classical training background, and getting them oriented with other musical styles. And that kind of applies here, definitely,
Absolutely.
Matt, because I'm guessing that, where the string players are concerned, they're probably not used to making it up as they go along.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this piece. I said you can follow the notes on the page and play as much or as little as you want, and feel free to stretch out when you feel comfortable. And there's some places where it's just hold an F drone and go to town, and let's see where this piece goes.
Dave, you mentioned about focusing on the cello, but then also, incorporating folk styles and things like that. The other, I think, overarching thing that you're teaching these students is that while it's great to have an area of concentration, no musician makes it if they can only do one thing. Everybody has to have lots of different tools and styles in their toolbox.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, I really love to get to the foundational things. I feel like style is kind of a costume. Style is kind of like an accent that an actor uses, like if they're playing a character with a British accent. But all these foundational things about playing in time, playing in tune, understanding, which is, I think, a really big foundational aspect of this whole festival is communication. Like, how do we talk to each other as musicians? I mean, one thing that's really special that Rich referred to is that we always kind of let the students drive. So sometimes we'll create a crazy, cello ensemble piece, like today, having this Latin cello workshop, I'm sure that tomorrow we're going to create a whole piece with the cellists in a genre they never thought about. So really to open your curiosity, to be creative with all musical materials. And everybody is outside their comfort zone at some point. But one thing I got to say that's really beautiful is watching the students support each other. We have this really cool young cellist, Henry, who's totally rocking out, and he's pretty advanced. And another cellist who is a beginner was really frustrated yesterday. And Henry kind of took him under his wing, and by the end of the day, they were both improvising together, and without even me doing anything. And I think that to me, that kind of symbolizes sort of the spirit of the festival as a whole. And maybe music would be a lot better everywhere if we all did that.
I just love that you've done something called Latin cello.
I know, it's like a whole record there somehow.
Yeah. Phil, as a guitarist, of course, you are used to teaching and playing in all different genres, but is this an unusual arrangement for a chamber music festival, the kind of teaching that you do to be this wide-ranging?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the repertoire, the ensembles, the genres, all the different things that we're looking at are all over the place. The students coming in are at very different levels, and so that is all part of this every year. And I think it's always created this really unique environment where we really get to stretch out, both as teachers and the students get to stretch out from where they are. And if I can, one thing I want to say about this festival that I've seen over the years that is, I think, unique, especially in the times we're in now, there really is, Dave said it, that we let the students drive, but I think it's both, right? It's like, I think what Rich does so well and what the Five Seasons Chamber Music Festival does so well is they bring in great faculty members. And that's like, period, stop. Every year, that is the case. And if that's the case, they've kind of banked on that in the sense that if you get a bunch of great educators and people who do what they do professionally in the world, and you have them willing in this educational spirit to take on a series of kids who are different every year, and you don't hinder them. You kind of let that relationship grow as it will, That's the thing that I think that is really unique about this festival. And so instrument almost becomes somewhat secondary. It becomes part of your offering, in a sense, right? Like you bring what you have, and the kids do the same. And I might go as far as to say that I think this is one of the places where true education still happens.
I have to second something about the faculty, Rich, which I just want to say that, because I was saying this to one of the students, Levi, this great cellist that I've known for a long time here today. I said, one of the things that's so unique here is that you don't really, in the music industry, and I'm at a lot of festivals, see artists of the level of John DeVersa working with an advanced beginner.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
either see...
He doesn't work with too many middle school
right,
students.
yeah, like you either see very advanced teachers working with young professionals, or you see music educators working with beginners, but to put a whole culture of high-level music educators with high-level performers, with students that range, my cello class ranges from people that have played from 6 months to people that have played for the last 12 years since they were like 6 years old. Right. And so that is a very rare thing. You don't really, the access the kids have is to a very, very special kind of artistic faculty. I haven't seen many places like that, to be honest. I agree. So I really second that. I think that's very...
Rich, you mentioned, I think you were talking about the Thursday concert, but I don't think you mentioned too much about the Friday concert.
Right. Well, the Friday concert then ends up being all these collaborations and cross-pollination kind of things between the different instruments. On Friday night, we end up with full orchestra where we're playing the Bernstein Mambo. We're playing Egmont Overture by Beethoven, and we're doing Bring 'Em Home from Les Mis, and Fred Kaiser singing that. So
nice.
That's kind of what's going on there. And yeah, there's about 35 minutes of wind stuff, about 35 minutes of brass stuff, and an orchestral program. And there's also, that night is going to be our third fellowship ensemble, which is the Dvorak Opus 77 String Quintet. And that one is one of my favorite things to see have happen. First of all, that's a piece that really helped me become a proficient chamber bass player. And also it's got kind of one of the more cool combinations of all of the groups of people that are in this. So the first violinist is Rocco Grieco, who is a friend of Dave's, who came to the festival for the first time this year, and then a series of interns on second violin, viola, and cello, and then one of my students who's about to be a senior in high school on bass. So it kind of encapsulates again some of this, like how people can come together and work through different experiences and learn from each other.
It's all happening at the Five Seasons Chamber Music Festival going on this week. You're at the Kirkwood campus. Concerts in Ballantyne, yes?
That's right. Ballantyne Auditorium. Thursday night, you can hear everything from a newly composed piece called Silence Smells Like Burnt Coffee by Brett Copeland, which is all of the faculty and interns, as well as Cheeks by John DeVersa, a little arrangement of Night on Bald Mountain I did several years ago for the band Mirage, in the area that we're going to do. First movement Mozart Clarinet Quintet. An octet for percussion and mixed strings and winds by Revueltas, and Wagner's Siegfried Edel. That's kind of the kind of wacky programming that you can expect to see.
That is pretty wacky.
2 concerts, Thursday and Friday night, the 25th and the 26th, in Ballantyne Auditorium. Is there a ticket price?
There, it's free to the public.
Awesome.
Suggested donation. We'll have Venmo SKUs up. If you like what you see, please help support. It takes a lot of work to pull one of these off.
That's
so
right.
we appreciate the community's support.
Sounds like a lot of fun, a lot of work. So I wish you a good night's sleep each night when you can. And boy, just have fun with it. Thanks for being with me today.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.